So I don't really have anything to talk about, but I'm gonna try to find something to talk about, you know. Uh, so I'm going to uh, the clinic today to pick up my meds, and I have a therapy appointment there. Now, my therapist, he's a real kind of weird guy. Like, I don't know if he's like a fucking pedo or whatever the fuck. I don't want to say that, but like, he's he's kind of a weird guy, and so I kind of don't want to see him for therapy anymore. Uh, but like, he gives me like bad vibes. Like, he just seems like a real weird guy, and I've been talking to him for like months now. And I only went to therapy because I was kind of pressured into it. Like I told my this woman who used to be my case manager that I didn't want therapy, and she at first she was like, "That's all right," and then then she brought it up again, and I was like, "I still don't want therapy," and she said, I don't know, she just basically pressured me into getting a therapist, and then they just set me up with this guy, and it's like, all right, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I just wish I didn't have to go to therapy. Because therapy's never done anything for me, you know. Like, it's always just the same problems over and over. Or I mean, with this therapist, the only thing I talk about is like video games because that's all I'm doing. And then he asked me the same questions every time. He's like, "Have you seen anything that's not really there? Have you heard voices that aren't really there? Like that I don't know that are in your mind that don't seem in place or whatever." And I'm just sitting there like, no, I'm taking meds, so no, I haven't. Like, no. So anyway, that's pretty much what it's like every time I go to therapy. And this guy, I don't know how to describe him. Like he's short. He was bald, but he got like hair transplants. So now he has hair, but it's not real. I mean, it's his real hair, but it's like they cut it from the back of his head or whatever, like the hair on the back of his head, and then they just transplanted it to the top of his head. And so it's like his real hair, but like, it's not supposed to be there or whatever. It's kind of weird. I guess you could say he doesn't look more normal. He still doesn't look normal. Like he's got like a droopy face. I don't really give a shit that he has like a big nose. I don't really give a shit that he looks. I don't really. Why would I care? But it's just kind of weird. Like he looks weird. He looks kind of like just. I get like pedo vibes from him. I'm like, is he a pedophile? And I'm just sitting there like talking to him every week, and the more I talk to him, the more I think like this guy's got to be a pedophile. Like I'm just sitting there like kind of like getting like I don't know, like he hasn't really talked much about his own life, which therapists usually don't talk about their own lives when they're talking to their patients. So maybe he's not a pedophile, but he probably is. I don't really know though. Like it's hard to say. Like because on the one hand, maybe he just looks weird, but like on the other hand, like a lot of like these pedos that you see on the news or whatever, like he looks like one of them kind of. Like he looks like a Microsoft. Like he looks like Bill Gates or some shit. He looks like he might be related to Bill Gates because he looks kind of retarded, but like. But he's not dumb. Like that's the thing. Like that's what makes me like really kind of suspect him is because like he's not stupid and he looks like really bad. So that combination, like I don't know, like you have to meet him to get what I'm saying, probably. But anyway, so I have to see him every week, and I don't have a good way out of it. Like I could say I don't want to see this doctor anymore. He's a doctor. But if I did that, then the question is, well, what's wrong? Like, why don't you want to go to therapy? And then it's like, oh, I just want a different therapist. But the thing is, like, I would probably get like all the therapists at this place that I go to, like, they're all kind of weird. So like, I'd be trading one pedo for another pedo. It's just like that's how I see it. It's just like probably they're just like pedophilic on the left. Tranny loving weirdos, that's probably what they are, So, anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I'm trapped with every week, just trying to, at least it's only therapy, like, I don't know, at least I'm only talking, like, and he doesn't really have any effect on me, like anything he says, like I just kind of ignore it, and then I just like nod my head. And I'm just like, I just try to make conversation about anything else besides like anything related to therapy because I think it's all weird coming from him. It's like what the hell. But so I sort of got pressured into having therapy with this weird guy. And I've had a lot of therapists, and this is the weirdest therapist. Like most of my other therapists seemed like at least like somewhat normal, or like at least like not like this. Like these, like they weren't like weirdos. Like yeah, they might have been weird because they were into psychology, but like but it wasn't like I don't know, like this guy could be a pedophile. I really don't know. Anyway, I have to go to therapy today with him, and maybe he's not really one, but I don't know. I might try to get out of therapy with him. I just don't know how to do it yet. Anyway, I'm just going to ignore him. I'm hoping that, here's what I'm hoping for. Like, I'm hoping that once Trump gets into office, like, he'll replace a lot of the healthcare workers. I'm hoping that my therapist gets replaced with somebody else who's, like, more right-leaning, because this guy's on the left for sure, He said that he didn't vote and that he was, like, neutral politically, but like he's lying, like he's on the left. Anyway, yeah, I'm hoping for a more right-winged person to be my therapist. So I'm hoping they like clear out a lot of these like people who work at the clinic and like replace them with different people. And hopefully that'll be better for me, And I'm hoping for better drugs too. Like maybe they won't inject me with this experimental drug that they have. And maybe I can just have better drugs that like actually do something for me, Like these drugs they give me now, like they work for the most part, but sometimes like I'm still like I still have racing thoughts and like paranoia sometimes, and these drugs don't really help that much for that. Like they do, but not as much as what I need them to. It might just say you need them to up the dosage, but they have upped the dosage before and it still doesn't work, So it's not like I'm paranoid all the time, but like sometimes I still get paranoid and shit. And it's like yeah, okay, these drugs aren't gonna help. And a lot of it is because like they're weird people there. Like they're on the left, you know, they're like lefties. They're left winged. And I don't know, I just need better people there. So I'm hoping that Trump will eventually cycle in some new people. Anyway. Yep, that's what I'm dealing with today. So, yep, have a good one.